Hello people, welcome to another episode of Iron Fist Mining. It's been a couple weeks since I did one of these. I kind of got injured at work. That's what's up with the goatee. I walked into this metal cable and it cut me, so I had to grow this because I couldn't shave it. Anyway, I also threw out my right elbow with my hammer, went through a hole and kind of overextended my arm, and then I blew out my calf down here. A piece of the muscle that attaches to the calf snapped loose and it was kind of hard to walk, so that healed up. Anyway, got my sluice set up and I'm digging in my normal spot in the rock bar, and something that I haven't mentioned before is the gold's in these rocks. That's why you find it in the rock bar. As the water comes down and pushes the rocks down, they bang against each other, leaving behind those little bitty specks of gold. I can show you over here. I was doing a little spot panning and dumped that out. I just did a tiny little scoop off the surface right here, right on the edge. And I came up with a couple, 4 colors. There's one right there in front of my finger, and then some tinier specks that you probably can't see on the video. But these are getting beat out of the quartz. It's either this quartz or this reddish quartz, or tan quartz, and then the rose quartz, but it's definitely not in this granite stuff. If you guys, I keep seeing you guys post pictures and stuff in some of the mining things. Is this stuff gold? If it's in granite, it's not gold. It'd be fool's gold, or some variation there in which, but it's not gold. See, when there was high pressures and all the other stuff was being formed, the quartz ran next to something like granite. And then the gold also ran with the quartz and between the granite. But if it ever at any point entered the granite, it becomes fool's gold. So you're wasting your time looking at that. If you don't have an abundance of glass sitting around, you're probably not going to find it. Anyway, I'm going to see what I see when I dig, and you're going to come along for the ride. I've kind of taken to using buckets rather than using my hand dredge all the time, just because it's faster. And my particular setup is a little bit quicker than Todd's bazooka gold trap, because Todd's system, you need fast water. The water that's going through here isn't fast enough to run it, nor deep enough. With this system, even though the current doesn't always push it all the way down, you can still hand use it and it still operates as a sluice. So, haha, one for me. And they work anywhere as long as you can get them as deep as your sluice is high. Anyway, I'm going to dig. I'll show you what I get. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Crystal. So after an hour, I ran 20 buckets through the sluice, made little rock stacks. rock stacks. Sluices, this little island it's sitting on, is all the stuff that didn't go through the sluice. This is all the material that's been panned out. I actually had 2 pans worth, but this is all the junk that's in the bottom. And I'm going to clean this out and see what kind of gold I got. I saw some in there. Not sure how much, but I know it's in there. I can see the pieces, y'all. There's just a lot of black sand and mercury in there. I pretty much dug in the same spot so I'd see how much gold is in that particular area. I didn't really go too far, but that's a half a yard. So we'll see. Alright, freaks. There's the gold. Not bad for a little tiny area, I guess. I'm noticing a little bit heavier mercury too, man. Like it's clumping. But I did catch some decent sized pieces, and I guess that's alright. I don't know if it's enough to make me want to do it some more, but there's some gold. Ow, my back. There's a result of another 20-yard run, or 20-bucket run, in an hour. I'm a little tired and stuff, but I caught some nice chunks. It's kind of hard to film out here, man. The sun's a little weird today. A little weirder than me, I guess you could say. I'll dump in the other stuff and show you today's total. And all of this is a result of, I have no idea if that's showing up. I can't even see the camera. Of roughly a yard of dirt out of this area. Let me switch hands. Left hand's retarded. And it reveals itself. I'm sure the camera's not that stupid. Are you that stupid, camera? It's kind of dirty. It would appear that my skills on panning has atrophied a bit. So it's not as clean as I'd like it, but that's not bad, man. The second spot was a lot better. I'll show you what I did. I came to the ass end of where I dug. This is the second hole. The channel where I came down and test panned just the sidewall. The sidewall used to come to right here. So I scooped all that out, and if you're wondering how deep it is, about to my knee, man. And I found a way to dig really fast. I was just using my hands. You put the bucket between your calves, and then kind of kick your hand back and forth like a dog digging at a beach, and it just fills up the bucket. Run over, dump it, and check out your gold. The first hole wasn't as impressive, but it's an equal amount of material. It went from here, and then I uncovered these rocks. But I definitely moved a lot more material than I would have with the hand dredge. I just used it to clean out spots where the bottom of the water got a little undulated, you could say. So, gotta pack up all this stuff on the mule, suck up the gold, which that's not bad. Oh yeah, man, I got some really pretty cool crystals. Almost forgot. Thought there was another one. Yeah, who cares? This one's kind of cool. It's foggy at the end, but it's got a really nice terminated end on it, and it's sparkly. There's like purple and green and stuff in there. This one, I'm surprised I saw it. It kind of disappears in water. It's small though. This one had a nice tip. What I do is I save all these up until I find, enough of them that I put them together as something, or learn how to cut them, I guess. I think instead of getting a lapidary, what I'm going to do is get some of those little discs for the grinders that you use on tiles and marble. It's cheaper. Know what I mean? McQueen. So there's some gems and some gold. It's not a bad amount of gold, actually. Get out there! Get out there! Covering up my gold. Anyway, stick around for the epilogue of this episode of Iron Fist Mining. Okay, so for the epilogue, for a little bit, a tiny bit of gold, probably $4 worth of gold. Took 4 hours, that's $1 an hour, plus a couple Jimmy looking rocks. Made a big old pile, it hurt my back right here. Something I'd like to touch on though, as far as the eco side of this, a lot of the people, especially when dredging comes up, they're saying it damages the environment. Well, just for a second, entertain that you're like me and you're thinking about what's in the water system. And from time to time, you look in the pan and I show you the black sands, which you can see in the dirt right here, and the mercury sands, along with the heavier mercury. There's a piece of gold right there. Anyway, if you remove some of this, it gives the water a chance to cleanse itself, not pick up all this toxic material, and life benefits from it. Which there's big pods of fish down here and up here, and that's mainly due to now they have something to go through instead of compacted and filled with toxic materials. So you might just want to think about that instead of listening to these government types that are saying it's more beneficial to let it pile up. You know, and all I'm saying is guys like me and women out there that are like doing this, we're moving it out of the system. So keep that in mind. It was a fun day. I'm kind of tired. I hope some of these tips and ideas that I give you pan out for you. But as far as I've done this for probably 2 years now, I got like 6.5 grams that I've melted down, which initially I said you won't lose weight, but you do, because I weighed one that I melted down. It gets hung up in slag. Eventually you'll get it back, that there's what you're weighing initially is dirty gold, so when you melt it down, there's some impurities come out, so you do lose weight. But I do have 6.5 grams of pure gold and a lot of gemmy looking stones. Eventually I'll do something with them, but you need the rocks clanging and banging around on each other to be able to find them. If the rocks are small and the current's kind of slow, you're not going to really find a lot. You have to be decent size that can pummel some stuff. Plus, doing it like this stabilizes your banks, and it doesn't erode as much, so you don't really lose the nature of this place. Some of you that have watched this for a long time have come to know this spot that I come to, and can see that it really doesn't change. So it's getting kind of hairy over here. Stuff's growing. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm hungry. Gotta go home and do laundry. So that's gonna do it, people. From me to you, you to me. All these weird ass clouds. I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in and watching Iron Fist Mining. Until the next time. Peace out, babies. Let's go. On the mule. Poof. Surprised that bike holds all that stuff.